All right, so everyone's talking about what AI can do, right? But today we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the people who are actually building all this stuff. Because behind the massive AI boom, there's a hidden story, a real struggle that kind of changes how we should think about this whole revolution. Okay, so just look at this. This chart tells the story of an absolute explosion. Before late 2022, AI development was growing, pretty steadily. Then ChatGPT dropped and bam, developer activity on the official forums shot up by nearly 300%. A few months later, GPT-4 comes out and it jumps again. It is a full-blown gold rush. Developers all over the world are dropping everything to build the next big thing with this tech. But here's the twist in the story. Behind all that excitement, behind that incredible wave, thousands and thousands of these developers are hitting a wall. And they are hitting it hard. There's a secret struggle going on that the hype just completely glosses over. So how do we get to the bottom of this? Well, some researchers did something pretty brilliant. They decided to treat the official OpenAI developer forum like a giant investigation, digging through over 29,000 posts to find clues about what's really happening on the front lines. This study is our key to understanding the real challenges. And the first piece of evidence they found, well, it's a real shocker. Of all those thousands of questions developers are desperately asking, only 9%, let that sink in, 9, ever get a solved, accepted answer. That means for every 10 developers asking for help, 9 of them are basically left completely on their own. And if that wasn't bad enough, clue number 2 paints an even tougher picture. For the lucky few who do get a response, the average wait time just to get that first reply is almost 6 days. 6. In the tech world, 6 days can feel like an absolute eternity. So you put these two clues together, right? Almost no one gets a definitive answer, and even getting any reply takes nearly a week. The conclusion is just crystal clear. For all the slick demos we see, actually building real, reliable apps with these AI models is way, way harder than it looks. Which brings us to the real heart of it all. Why is it so hard? What are these huge, frustrating hurdles that are tripping everybody up? Well, let's break down exactly what the research uncovered. The research basically sorts all these problems into a few big buckets. As you can see, the biggest slice of the pie here is something called general questions. Then you've got huge chunks for API issues, problems with what the AI actually generates, and this whole other category of sneaky, non-functional stuff like cost and security. Let's dig into the big ones. So let's start with that number 1 challenge. That big slice of the chart. It turns out the main headache is just making the AI play nice with everything else. The biggest struggle is trying to plug this powerful new brain into existing ops and just getting it to work reliably. And this quote right here, it just nails the problem. A developer is asking, how do I stop this thing from just making stuff up? They'll hook it up to their system and the AI will start hallucinating facts, or it'll give a brilliant answer 1 minute and then total nonsense the next. It's just not consistent. And here's the real aha moment. This is why it's all so tricky. Think about it. Traditional software is predictable. It's like a calculator. You put in 2 plus 2, you get 4 every single time. But these new AI models, they're creative, they're probabilistic, and honestly, they're sometimes completely unpredictable. It's like trying to bolt a freestyle jazz musician onto a Swiss watch. They just operate on totally different principles. Okay, so that's hurdle number 1. Hurdle number 2 is all about wrestling with the API. Now, the API, the Application Programming Interface, just think of it as the special doorway developers use to talk to the AI. And for almost a quarter of them, it feels like that doorway is booby-trapped. I mean, they're getting slammed with weird errors that don't make any sense. Or the AI will just start repeating itself over and over. Other times, they just can't figure out the right settings to get it to do what they want in the first place, or their connection just times out. It's a constant, frustrating battle just to get a clear signal through. And it's not just about the code breaking. There's this whole other set of problems the study calls non-functional properties. These aren't bugs, really. They're the real-world headaches. We're talking cost, speed, and security, the kind of stuff that can totally sink a project. First up, cost. Every single time an app asks the AI to do something, a little cash register goes cha-ching. It's all calculated in these things called tokens, which are basically tiny pieces of words. And sure, one little request is cheap, but if your app has thousands of users making requests all day, that bill can get massive, fast. Then there are rate limits. Basically, the AI companies have to put a cap on how many requests you can make at once, otherwise their servers would just melt. So imagine your app suddenly goes viral, and all of a sudden you're locked out. The service just cuts you off. It makes sense why they do it, but man, what a nightmare to deal with. And finally, the big one, security. This is huge. Developers are, rightly concerned about sending their users' private data off to some third-party company. How do you keep it safe? How do you prevent leaks? These are critical questions that don't have easy answers. Okay, so we've seen the hype, we've uncovered the hidden struggle, and we've walked through the specific roadblocks. So what? What does all this actually mean for the future of AI and for all of us? Well, the research points to a few key takeaways. If you're a developer, the message is you're not alone. Know these hurdles are coming and prepare for them. For the big AI companies, the message is even clearer. You have to build better tools and write better instructions. And for the rest of us, it's a good reminder that behind that simple little chat window, there is a ton of hidden complexity. And this isn't just about a few early glitches. What we're really seeing here is the birth of an entirely new engineering discipline. We're moving away from a world of predictable, logical code to this new world of managing creative, unpredictable systems. And we're all kind of writing the instruction manual as we go. Which really leaves us with this one final big question. As AI gets woven into pretty much everything in our lives, our phones, our jobs, you name it, maybe the most important question isn't just what can this technology do, but rather, how do we best support the people who are actually building it? Because right now, they're building our future, one very frustrating API call at a time.